Good afternoon. Welcome to Fyfield Down. Today's adventure, spot of stone bothering. Hopefully going to take in 2, 3, maybe 4 sites. Beautiful Wiltshire Downs. Can't get enough of this place. Sun's out, sky's blue. Open bridleways for me to explore. Can't wait to have a great day out. Fairly arduous, long stretch of bridleway, mainly byway I think actually. It's going to take us up to grass bridleways that I want to get to. This bit's a bit of a slog though, to be fair. Slight incline, boy it's hot, but it's going to be worth it. So we're on to the grass bridleway at last, by concrete. Views opening up, I'll spin that round in a minute so you can get a little bit of it. A few sarsens dotted around. You can see the Valley of the Stones down there. First point of interest is a little bit further up here on the right, which is a standing stone known as Long Tom. Know a little bit about it, but not a lot. I don't know whether it's a ancient one or whether it was put up as a marker. There's conflicting views obviously on the internet of what it actually is, but I'll get some shots of it in a minute. But for now I'm going to turn you around and take this lot in. Possible barrow over there. But right down in that crevice is the Valley of Stones, and we'll be hacking through that a lot later on. And if I sound a little bit out of breath, fairly good reason for it, I am. So just made it up to Long Tom. Again, as I've probably mentioned earlier, not entirely sure whether it's an ancient standing stone or whether it's a more modern boundary marker. Probably not a boundary marker, could be a distance marker, could be anything really. Still pretty cool though, so I'll spin you around and we're going to have a look. And there she is. Well, say she, it's top minute we're talking about. So just reaching the highest elevation of the walk right now. Entering the possibly my favourite area, which leads on to a couple of absolute beauties, more of which to come later. But the views now just opening up. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm a middle-aged man in a field talking to myself basically, but I never stop being amazed at the beauty of this place and the history that it's connected to. It is something else. I think if you connect with it, you do. If you don't, you don't. But you can't fail to be impressed. So I'm going to slog on a little bit and then I'll pick out some views for you, and then we'll try and identify the next couple of landmarks. On to the next section now. Just had some stunning views over the downs. Incredible. Again, you know, I can never really say too much about it really. This is just a place I fell in love with the first time I visited a few years ago. I walk here regularly. But the next port of call is of significant interest, not only to myself, but those of people that love stone bothering, and that is the Neolithic Palliser stone. I'll give you a few more details about that when we get there. I hope you can kind of make that out. Bird song and nothing else. It's heaven. So a bit of an incline now up to the Palliser stone. Then I'll turn you around in a minute and we'll have a good look at it. And here she is. Okay, so as promised, a little bit about this. Called the Palliser stone, polishing stone, whichever you prefer, I guess. Dating back somewhere around 5,000 years ago. Used to sharpen stone axes in the Neolithic period. Could have once been stood up. Don't think anyone ever really know that one. But we'll take a little look now and you'll be able to see the groove marks of where the axe went in, plus the dish, as it's known, where the blade would have been smoothed to a point. For this to still be here and like this is nothing short of miraculous. And if you're ever here and if you just sit in silence and try and transport yourself back to the Neolithic times and take in the settlement where they were, which would have been the Beaker people as they were called back in the day, you just lose yourself in history, and it almost grounds you in a way of, you know, to forget material possessions and stuff like that and just enjoy your life. It's really all you got, isn't it, at the end of the day? Anyway, enough of my babbling. I'll turn you around and we'll have a look. So there's the grooves and here's the dish. Now for those of you who've been here, you would have also done this, and that is as smooth as you'll ever find. 5,000 years. What a place. Of course, there is a downside to all of this malarkey, because I now need a poo. I ain't going to film that. So just before we leave this particular area, here on Fyfield Down, there's another one I'm going to show you. I guess it's lesser known. Is it less important? Again, no one's ever going to know anything like that, are they? Unless you've got a TARDIS. But it is the Holstone, and obviously it's got that name for a very obvious reason, as you'll see in a minute. But I'm going to flip you around in a minute and we can have a look at that one before we move on to our next destination, of which I will describe a little bit more later for you. It was a big camp, wasn't it? So here we are, the Holstone. And again, what a setting. Just come down from up there, which is where the Polisher Stone is. So if you're looking to find it, just follow that little pathway down on your left, and there she sits. Okay then, so next section we're going to do is the Sarsen Valley, I think is one of its names. So this is quite an important place. A lot of the stones, if not all of them, you have to correct me if I got that wrong, for Avebury Stone Circle were raised and taken from here to make that monument, that sacred monument that we all know and love. I for one particularly love going there and spending time just being at one with the place, as I guess quite a few of you who are into this stuff do as well. This also has another one of my favourite spots, which is the Toadstone. I think it might have once been destined to join the others at Avebury. Obviously, again, you're never going to know for certain, but it's huge, and it looks like a toad. Funny that, isn't it? A bit like me, I look like a dick. But there we go. Anyway, I'm going to spin you around so we can have a bit of a look as we enter the Sarsen Valley. She's starting to open up in front of us now. And the views from here on in, and I will get plenty more of them as we go along, are nothing short of, well, phenomenal. Used to be an information board down here. I mean, the board's still there, but I don't think there's anything written on it anymore. Which is a shame, because if you haven't been here before, it does give you, or did, give you a great account of what was to lay in front of you. Once again, absolutely beautiful. Not a soul in sight. No noise, except my hoofs casually galloping across the field. Hoofs, great word though, isn't it? So, as promised, Can you guess what it is yet? Yeah, of course you can. It's the toadstone. It's a whopper hopper. I'll take you in a bit closer. Great view there of the valley cutting its way through Fyfield down, which will, in not too far a distance, a couple of kilometres, take us to our final destination of the day. Have we saved the best to last? Yeah, I reckon so. More about that in a minute. So that was the toadstone. Going to turn you around now, if I can actually talk properly, and just show you the path that we've come down. It always just looks stunning. It goes back, I don't know, millions of years, I guess, from when it was first deposited. But anyway, just to marvel at the view, let's have a look. Okay, time to crack on. Ooh, yeah. One happy boy. So, quick break on a style before we tackle the last, well, second from last section. I've just seen my mates, the cows, down there. Last time I was here, there was a really great bull. The only thing we got in common, I guess, is a nose ring. But I hope he's not there. Okay, so just about to enter the last place of interest on today's walk, the Devil's Den, a long barrow, possibly dolmen it's also known as, and I'll give you a little bit more about the information of its date and possible structure as it was originally built a bit later. It's the Devil's Den. a burial dolman, possible long barrow. Not quite sure yet, really. Not quite sure, I'll ever will know. But we're going to go and have a look anyway. I'll spin you around when we get a bit further down and you can have a real good look. So in the top right there we have the Devil's Den. Let's go in and take a look. So on the pathway now leading down to the Devil's Den, there's a few sarsens dotted about here and there on this footpath. Some have suggested that it could have once, or they, I should say, could have once been part of what was the long barrow, whether they were stones from the entrance, chambers possibly. Again, you know, that's left to wonder. No one's ever going to really know. But we'll have a quick look at them as we go past anyway. Absolutely massive crack in that one. I'm not going to elaborate. Okay, just approaching the entrance gate now to where the Devil's Den is located. There's a couple of people up ahead, so I'm gonna let them have their time at the stone and then move in peacefully. So as you can tell, we're now approaching the incredible Devil's Den. Hidden away in the beautiful Fyfield Downs. And there she is. Had some restoration, I think, done in the 1950s. It was in danger of collapse. I'm not quite surely that timescape's about right, but thank God they did. Anyway, we're taking a few more views on the way back up, and I'll see you then. Okay, last little stretch now. Been out for a good 3 hours. Temperature's at somewhere around 27 degrees now, so it is proper warm. Looking forward to getting in the van, which is obviously going to be roughly around the same temperature as Satan's Undercrackers, so that'll be nice. This is the first video I've put together. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll do a few more. So I've got one shout out, and that is to the inspirational Mr. Headley Thorne. All round top bloke, brilliant photographer, and a good friend. So cheers mate, and thanks for all your help. Okay boys and girls, see you next time.